Exclusively on the OysterLink Podcast, the fastest growing hospitality job platform in the US. Olivia Ostrow, CEO of Ostrow Global Corporation and executive chef of Maison Ostrow, shares her journey from dishwasher to becoming a world-famous chef.
And I started as a dishwasher. He hired me when I was in college to be a hostess. After one day, after the first shift, I went to him. I'm like, this is not for me. I'm like, put me in the kitchen. And I thought I was going to be the chef or the assistant to the chef. And then, I clean dishes.
Olivia discusses the dynamics between front and back of house staff, her unique approach to kosher dining, her philosophy on hiring and firing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OysterLink Podcast, the fastest growing hospitality job platform in the US. Hello, Olivia. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, boss.
So, Olivia, to start, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your career path?
So my name is Olivia Ostrow. I actually, right now, I'm the CEO of Ostrow Global Corporation, and I am the executive chef and owner of Maison Ostrow located in Miami. My career path is long, a little bit crazy, very colorful, and unusual. I was, born in Paris, so I really grew up, surrounded by greatness when it comes to food and art. I actually went to business school, and I'm completely self-taught. So when it comes to the kitchen, I started actually, my father was an investor in restaurants, and I started as a dishwasher. He hired me when I was in college to be a hostess. After one day, after the first shift, I went to him. I'm like, this is not for me, Dad. I have to smile and talk to people and be nice. I can't stand them. And he's like, well, you need to make money. And I'm like, put me in the kitchen. And I thought I was going to be the chef or the assistant to the chef. And then, I clean dishes. But in all fairness, cleaning dishes at that time was much better than smiling all evening to people. So it worked out to my advantage. I learned, I think, to love the back of the house as much as the front of the house. Throughout my career, I owned a restaurant as a chef. And also I ran restaurant and operation for other, from being the general manager for Cecconi's, from being the food and beverage director for the Savoy Hotel, for working front of the house for Steven Starr in management. I've done a lot of learning and, broke my back, whether it was by the dish pit and on the line. And I have a few burns to prove it, and a few cuts to prove it, or running the front. So I think I have a good balance in understanding and also, managing very well, actually, at least to the best of my ability, the very often war that happens between the back of the house and the front of the house. The server blaming the chef and the chef completely hating the server. So I think I have this good understanding of both worlds, and I'm a constant bumper between both of them.
So we can say that you went from being a dishwasher to being named the best chef in Miami.
That is a fact.
Okay, then let me ask you, what is the simplest roadmap to being named the best chef in Miami? What are the basic steps that someone should follow if someone is starting their career right now?
So the roadmap is believe in yourself. Don't be afraid of people who tell you, and who will constantly tell you can't and you're not and you shouldn't. Especially, I mean, I don't want to be like the whole feminist thing, because I'm not. This is not who I am at all, actually. But as a woman in the kitchen culture, either you're going to be cutting peppers, or you're going to be at the dish pit, or you're going to be at pastry. Well, screw that. Like, you can be whatever you want and you can do whatever you want. I think there's no recipe, to be honest. There's never been a recipe for anything that I've done in my life. Even, when I got pregnant with my first child, and I met all those moms who send me books about, the giving birth and everything. I couldn't even read one. I have no patience to read. If I get a piece of furniture at IKEA, I can't even fathom, reading the directions. So there's no map. There is no map. There is no map to a great dish. There is no map to what's in your head, and everybody's different. Just believe in yourself, and that's it, and do what you want. And if you love it, you'll always be drawn to be, running hospitality, company, or being the front of the house, or the back of the house, or being, the head chef of your own enterprise. And you have to love it. It's a tough business. That's all I have to say.
I love it. Thank you. This is a great answer. And you just mentioned the front of house and back of house, and this debate has been like online. It's been viral for the past few weeks. So the front of house keeps saying that they feel they are undervalued. What's your take on that?
So it's a very simple culture. The reason they undervalue, because I'm going to tell you how a chef sees the front of the house. A chef spend between 12 and 15 hours preparing, let's call it a dish. Okay. A server comes in at 4, cigarette on the side, making sure his tie is and then makes sometimes even as much money as some of the people who have worked those 14 or 15 or 17 hours by just bringing that plate and leaving. So there's a strong resentment. Also, some front of the house, in general and in the industry, can be a little lazy. Not in the hard work that they put, but I'm talking, working a double. Oh my God, what a double. While us in the kitchen, our life is a double. So there's sometimes a little bit disrespect, because it's very competitive how much you work. Now, the best chef in the world, unless he's, serving his family at, a Thanksgiving dinner or on a date, cannot operate a restaurant without a front of the house. So one doesn't go without the other. And a server can only serve a dish that is made by a great chef, and can only make money if the chef, executed, the plate perfectly. And the chef, even if he makes the greatest dish in the world, is if it's being brought to the table by someone with broken nails or dirty nails, or a pimple that shouldn't be there, or, an attitude, or chewing gum, or, a body odor. I mean, let's be real here. It's going to alter the whole experience from that dish that was made perfect. So it's never going to change that there's bickering between back and front, but one cannot operate fully the extent of the magic without the other. So it's in the culture, it's hospitality, it is how it is. Everybody thinks, they are irreplaceable, and that's fine. Sometimes if I'm on the line, I'll yell at the front of the house people that come, and I threw ticket at them. I mean, I've been called, the Chef Ramsay vibe, when I'm on the line. I'm a little brutal, but then I'm the same person if I'm at Expo and I'm like running the front and I see my ticket is passing the 12 minutes, I'll go crazy at the line. So, it's only in the eye of the beholder, no matter what. And that goes in hospitality and that goes with everything in life. So that's my answer.
Let me ask you, since now we're talking about like the staff, how do you retain good people in an industry that's known for the high turnover?
I've had the same people for 3 years. I don't have that problem. So I'm going to tell you, if you treat people well, it doesn't mean they will stay. First of all, like I see sometimes on LinkedIn, those quotes that like make me feel like I want to throw up, choke myself and poke myself in the eyeball. The whole thing where in hospitality, I've treated people where I gave them a car and they flaked on me on grand opening day. It doesn't matter. Like you can treat people like so well, they'll shit on you. Excuse my French. They will shit on you. They don't care. I think it's, as you get older, you get wiser and you start identifying people you can trust. And the people you can trust can actually be not the best one at the beginning. And they're the people you need to give your energy and put your energy to and form. So that can be that dishwasher that you see is never late, is actually always 5 minutes early and never complains, always has a smile and, is always ready to help others. That person you should pay attention to and you should put your energy. That person should become a food runner. That person should become a busser. And that person should become your lead server 2 years later. That's how you retain people, by actually, lifting them up and yourself recognizing talent. So it's a combination. Yes, of course, you cannot go around and treat people like shit. 2, you need to put your energy in people that are really worth it. And, if someone comes in and they're like the greatest, and they have a resume that they've been, in 6 other locations, in the past year, obviously they're not the greatest. So it's kind of like focusing on where to put your energy. My team right now, I have my general manager was a host, an assist when he started. My number 1 server was literally like a busboy. And, that's how it is, like you grow your own team. You identify, you humble yourself and you recognize talent.
So Olivia, you said that like they call you the Gordon Ramsay in your place. So what makes you fire someone right away on the spot, and what makes you hire someone right away?
What makes me fire someone right away? Oh my God. So when you ask me that question, in my head, I visualize Jack Nicholson in The Shining, like going from 0 to 100. It's like I have this switch that, I'm about to turn 51 in a week and I still don't know what like gets that switch on. But when that switch is on, it's like done. I'm done. And it's like, the whole, the drop in the glass. First of all, I have known to have 0 patience. It's sad, but it's the truth. And everyone knows that. I have no patience. So if I say something, if I ask for something to be done, the people who know me the best will actually get to it before I'm.
Fair enough.
I'm very nice, but life is short. I could die tomorrow. I literally always feel like I could get hit by a bus. I have a mission. I want to do it. And before the bus hits me on my way out, and I'm an upper, I'm not a downer. Like everybody who's going to get on my bus is going to be lifted, giving, more responsibility, giving, I empower people to make their own decision. I hate micromanaging. Do your thing. Let's all shine. But if someone is dragging, I don't have the time. I don't have patience. I don't have the energy.
Nice. Now let me switch to talking about the brand that you built. So I'm going to talk about like three sentences that I found everywhere on your social media, your website, and even like your previous interviews. Kosher will never be the same. Kosher, but make it couture. A new standard for kosher like dining in Miami. So why did you decide to build your brand around this concept?
So I didn't really decide. It wasn't really a decision per se that I made consciously. I started myself. So I'm Jewish, born Jewish. I come from a long line of actually Holocaust survivor. I'm Ashkenazi. I come from France. I'm, European. I lived also in Israel. When I lived in Israel, I ate kosher fully. Then I moved back to America. I dropped it. Then I started eating kosher again, during COVID. I felt a little bit like, where was the grandiose food? Where was the duck confit? Where was the incredible, plating? And I'm not talking, when I talk about incredible plating, I'm not talking about smoke and flowers in a dish, people. I'm talking about plating, like plating that you understand what you're eating. And where's the bœuf bourguignon? Where's the homemade pasta? Where's the food? And it wasn't there. So, I felt like, obviously there was a niche, but it was done almost extremely selfishly. I wanted to eat well. And I felt like if I want to eat well, I'm sure some other people want to eat well. And that's why if you look at my restaurant location and my branding and the people I associate myself with, they're not typically the kosher neighborhood. They're not typically your kosher industry, because I don't see myself as your typical kosher person, though I eat kosher. I just care about great food. I don't care about great kosher food. I just want great food, if that makes sense. And I think by sourcing my location in not only Jewish neighborhood, or by sourcing my partnership in not the Jewish and the kosher world, then, then we can really, see a better, like a worldwide vision, and not just like a little, kind of like a ghetto market. You know what I mean? And when I mean market, I'm talking, like the market, not the market.
I was, I was going to ask you, like, did you have to introduce kosher food to your diners? Do you get diners who don't understand the concept, then you introduce it? Or is your community only of those who understand it and they like look for you and they find you?
It's a very good question. It's 50-50. So a lot of people,
Nice.
a lot of people that come here, they don't know kosher, and they get to experience it and enjoy. A lot of people who come here, they don't want to go to kosher restaurants. They're what we call modern Orthodox almost. So they'll eat kosher meat only. They eat fish everywhere. So they go out they go to Nobu, and they go to, Makoto, and they go to all those restaurants that serve fish, or the Grutman, or they order fish pasta, or and they'll eat meat, at home, most likely. And the reason is because there's this stigma on kosher restaurant that it's dirty, the service is not good, the chefs are not real chef. It's like it's a little bit like the Shabbat. I call it the Shabbat club. It's like if you visualize the, nowadays I feel like everyone, who's in real estate wants to have a restaurant. So imagine like two guys, they're at Shabbat dinner. It's like, hey, Joe, what's your building, on the avenue? Is there a commercial? Yeah, of course. Let's open a restaurant. Hey, you, like, and point at his nephew. Hey, you do a good barbecue. You want to be a chef? That's how it is often. Yep. And unfortunately, I just, like a lot of people, don't like me to speak the truth, which I couldn't care less, obviously, but that's how it is. And that's how it is with 90% of the kosher restaurant. It's bullshit. So you have those 10%, that, are struggling because they are real chef and they want to showcase, and, people, are missing the eat moment because they don't really want to go, to the fake restaurant by no chef at all. So that's what I offer. So yes, I introduce even to the kosher world, I think, a different kind of cuisine, which happens to be kosher.
Speaking about the brand, since we're talking about the concept, based on your experience, how do you prevent like Maison Ostrow from becoming just another, Miami hotspot that just like, burns bright and then fades fast? How can you make sure that this is a like long-term concept?
So first of all, I'm not trendy at all. I don't follow trend. I don't care about trend. I don't care about food trend. I'm a very much like the horse, with the little side, like I said, like I'm not like falling into the smoke coming out of a plate, the flowers in a dish and everything. I don't care about all that. So by following trend, you can make a lot of money in a short time, and then you'll end up closing. And a lot of big name in the Miami, market keep doing that. They open, they close, they open, they close. It's the eat place. They close. There's dancing. There's this and that. They close. Okay. And they reopen. So I don't have the luxury to do that. So first of all, I didn't just open, who I am. I believe that I have, a following, for the last 3.5 years that I've entered kosher. So my customer and my guests, are loyal. My followers obviously are growing and discovering with this new location, more and more what I'm doing. I'm expanding my horizon. I just don't want, I will never fall into the trendy thing. It's not for me. And, I'm actually very old school. Like as a woman, I'm old school. People see me completely different than what I am because obviously, I'm a woman. I'm in a leadership position. I have tattoos. I'm like, eccentric in my clothes. I speak, my mind. I'm afraid of absolutely nothing and no one. But I'm very old school when it comes to respect from my husband or to like, the food itself or, following the old school, French, food rules and presentation. I'm obsessed with table side. So when you when you stay on your path of what you think is the right thing to do and transmit, I think you're fine. Why, as long as I don't see smoke coming out of anything I ever do in my career, I'll sleep okay. Can you tell that I hate smoke coming out of anything? I hate it. Hate it.
Talking about old school, by the way, I've seen that you've been featured in different TV shows, publications, websites, and I mean, you are popular. Even your place is popular, and I'm guessing this is because of the word of mouth. Meanwhile, when I'm checking your social media, I don't see that you're that interested in building that follower, like fan base on social media. So why is that? What's your take on social media in this case?
What would be
In
what would
hospitality?
be your suggestion how to build like a fan base? Like what what should I do different? I mean, I'm here. I get up at 6 a.m. I go home around midnight. I work, whether I'm working on marketing ideas, on developing this, on, marketing development, business development, a dish, or, step of service even. What should I do different? What do you think, I should do different?
Be nothing. That's why I'm asking. It looks like the way you're doing it is really successful. You've been featured in a lot of like places that others cannot do it, although they have that big fan base, like I don't know, 20, 30,000 followers on Instagram or something. But you don't seem to care about that. Still, you got successful. That's why I'm
I
interested.
mean, the truth is, I think the press and the TV likes me. I cannot really, because I signed a couple of non-disclosure agreement. I cannot go into details, but I just filmed, a new show. I was in LA filming, and that's going to be great and coming out in the spring. And, there's another one on the table right now that, I'm hoping to film very soon as well. I think it's all about being confident and being who you are. I don't know. I think the press likes me. I'm unusual. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's a good question. Now I'm like questioning myself. Yeah, people, why don't I have 50,000 million followers after all? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just do my thing. Like I say, I don't look at what other people do. I post what I want to post on my social. And to be honest, until 1 month ago, I was private. My Instagram was private.
Okay.
I shut it down.
See, you don't care about
And
it.
then
Still, you're
but I got
successful and
my
trendy.
marketing team was like screaming at me, and they're like, dude, you post all those great stuff that you're doing and it's private. Come on. And I was like, I don't want to be public. And, I didn't want for the longest time. So maybe that's why, but yeah, I just didn't want to. Like, I don't care that much. Like, I don't know. I mean, don't
Okay.
worry. I don't want to say that I don't care about other people. I love my fan base. I love my little cult. I love people who love me. I'm a total egomaniac.
Real
I'm a
ones.
total egomaniac,
Yeah.
like every chef on earth. But I'm so focused on work and I work so hard that, if you would see me in the street, most of the time you wouldn't even recognize me. I mean, like, I work a
Okay.
lot. Let me put it this way. I'm not always glamorous. Just say
You just mentioned that you're turning 51, right? Very soon.
51 years old. Yeah.
Okay. Then you probably have more than 3 decades in this industry, in
Yes.
hospitality. Then let me ask you, based on that experience, when is the right time for someone to open their own place? Do you believe you opened, let's say, this place at the right time? Should have you like opened earlier? Maybe you should have waited. What do you think? What is the right time for someone in this industry to think about opening their own place?
So, I'm going to try. I don't want to quote, badly, but, there's a movie called Little Miss Sunshine. And then
Okay.
the little girl, she's crying. She's in her bed and she's crying to her grandfather. And, like the whole thing is like, they don't make her, I mean, she's so cute, but they're not making her like the prettiest girl. And she goes and try like a beauty pageant, and then the grandfather is talking to her and she's like, I don't want to lose. I don't want to be a loser. And the grandfather is like, why? What's that? He's like, yeah, like daddy will, like, I want to win for daddy and I don't want to be a loser. And he's like, a loser is someone that doesn't try. A loser is someone who doesn't ever fail. That's a loser. So to that aspect, there is no right time. There's gonna be wrong time over and over. There's gonna be great memory. There's gonna be there's going to be, if you don't try and if you don't fail, I think you will never succeed. Its success can only be somehow linked with failure. Because how do you know that you succeed if there's not like a moment of darkness? How do you know what happy feels if you're never sad? Like, so I don't know. It's like, it's a thin line, and it's like, I mean, I'm not a philosopher and I'm not, I don't want to pretend, to know more and to be deeper than I really am. But there's no right time. I failed at 100,000 million things in my life. There's a moment that I failed as a mom, which is, by the way, the most important job I've ever had. I failed so many times, and because I failed, and because you look back and you're like, that was a moment of deep failure, that I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have been there, then you become a better person and you become a better parent. And it's in this kind of mindset will lead you eventually to your own success. Also, who knows what success is? I mean, I think I'm successful now in a way. You know why? Because if I get hit by that bus that I keep on mentioning tomorrow, I have so much freaking TV and press that I visualize my kids. They'll be older with their own children and they'll be like, look at your grandma. She did so much. And they'll have so many memory. So in a way, I've succeeded in leaving them, like this wonderful image of me that's like beyond, the grandma cooking or something like that. Success is, it depends on what you want. Opening a restaurant, go for it. You're 18, go for it. You want a food truck, go for it. You want to fine dining, go for it. The truth is, there's a very big chance you'll fail, and you will not be a loser if you get up and keep on going, and then eventually you'll get there. That's what I have to say.
Impressive, by the way. Thank you for this answer. I mean, I've never expected such an insightful answer about this question, so thank you.
No, you're welcome, but that's how it is. I mean, you would know. You don't even understand. It's like, for me, it's like, but I think it might be a woman thing. It's like, how many hair color can we get before we get the one we really like? It's like, okay, I'm going to be red hair, blonde hair, this, that. And one day I'm like, oh, wow, I'm so pretty. And that's the one. So what?
Yes. Then let me wrap up this interesting conversation by asking you about a new concept that you just announced very recently, which is the French English. I'm guessing in collaboration with Dot English. So what is this concept? Can you tell us more about it?
So first, Todd, when you listen to my podcast, and I know you will because you're obsessed with me, obviously, I love you. So Todd and I have known each other for a while and been dancing around the idea of doing collabs and pop-up. And then we finally completely dropped the idea of collab and pop-up. And we're like, let's just be partners. And let's open a kosher lifestyle, a kosher concept that's going to be called French English. So, I'm the CEO, obviously, and I have amazing partner business partner in Ostrow Global Incorporation. Todd English is now one of those partners. He is and has invested in the group. Me and him have created a sub-brand called French English. We are developing the idea and the business plan to open restaurants that will be kosher, whether it's in Beverly Hills, in London, in Paris, in New York, in Chicago, in Dubai. We are working on butter-link sauces and, non-dairy butter that I've been working on for years that are unbelievable. And we are also opening in January a new concept called Baguette Maison by French English, which is basically everything, every dish from every country from all over the world. We've taken the best sandwiches, but not the one that come in a baguette. I'm talking the pita, the laffa bread, the Indian, the Greek, you name it, and everything in a baguette and glad kosher. So that's also, starting in January. So For that, obviously, the French English brand is an extraordinary step in my career. And I think it is also for Todd, who's now completely deep in, the kosher world. We want to open many restaurants. We have many concepts. A hotel will be nice. We want to be in Las Vegas. We want to also do Disney, where he already has a restaurant, but open another one kosher. And we right now we started pitching to even more investor to join that venture. And we already have a lot of leads and a lot of space we've been looking at. So that's exciting.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing. Thank you so much, Olivia, for your time today. Thanks for sharing all those insights with our audience, and thanks for those very insightful and deep answers. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and don't forget to send me my t-shirt.
Yep, I will. One of those. OysterLink.